we are going to talk about coordinating your deep core. So your deep core, here in my balloon, we have your diaphragm that's at the top, that sits at the lower part of your ribs here. You have your abdominals on the front, your pelvic floor forms the bottom, and you have your multifidi, the low back stabilizing muscles, at the back. So that is your deep core. You can think of it as a core canister. So it kind of makes a canister. It's a pressure system. So it manages the pressure in your core. Obviously, you've got a lot of organs and other things in that space as well. But that is your deep core. And so when coordinating this, it's helpful to know how they all should work together, okay? So that way when you're using this in your breathing exercises and core exercises or just movement in general, you can know what is supposed to happen. So the coordination piece is as your diaphragm contracts on an inhale. So when you take a deep breath in, your rib cage should expand in all directions, kind of like a balloon. Everything should fill with air, or an umbrella filling up. As you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and it actually moves down. Okay, so the diaphragm moves down, and in response to that, the pelvic floor should actually move down. So think of it like a piston. So diaphragm moves down, pelvic floor moves down. Then on your exhale, naturally, in just a passive exhale, the pelvic floor gently comes back up to its resting position, and then as the diaphragm moves back up into its resting position. So they work together. Diaphragm down, pelvic floor comes up as the diaphragm moves up. Okay, so that is the diaphragm and pelvic floor working together with every single breath. Okay, inhale down, exhale come up. So when you inhale, you want to think of everything expanding kind of down and out. And then on your exhale, that's where we get that muscular activation piece. So the muscles, everything's coming up and in. If you're not focusing on a forceful or active exhale, then like I talked about before, everything's just naturally going to come kind of back in, and the pelvic floor will come up naturally. When we're using this coordination of everything in exercise, focusing on activating our core, we're going to get more activation of those pieces. So we're going to actively try to engage our core. So let's just demonstrate this here. Just 360 breathing, and then I'm going to isolate and activate my deep core, my transverse abdominals, my pelvic floor together as I exhale. Okay, so on my inhale, everything's expanding. Think down and out, everything comes. So inhale through my nose. Rib cage expands in all directions, belly fills with air, back body expands. I need to work on that, so that's something I'm working on, is my back body expansion. But inhale, everything expands 360 degrees. Pelvic floor lengthens and relaxes. Then on my exhale, I'm going to exhale from the bottom up. Pelvic floor lifts, lower belly flattens as I'm then thinking of bringing my rib cage gently down and in. Okay, so everything here should flatten and come in. Okay, my rib cage is coming back down. I don't want it to be flared. Okay, I'm connecting, knitting my rib cage together, activating and engaging my deep core. So let's see that again. Inhale through my nose. Full exhale, all that air out. If you get a full exhale, sometimes you get that little cough at the end. That's a good thing, actually. So make sure you're getting all that air out, that eventually you've got a cough. Okay, so on that exhale, I was exhaling from the bottom up, lifting my pelvic floor gently, engaging my deep core here. My deep abs are kicking in when I lift my pelvic floor, and then I'm kind of bracing my abdomen here as I'm drawing my hip bones together. I'm getting a little bit more of that internal obliques, and then I'm bringing my rib cage down and in. External obliques are going to kick in there, engaging my entire core here. Okay, so again, inhale, everything expands. Think of coming down and out. Exhale, up and in. So exhale is that muscular activation piece. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract. So that's how you're going to use that breath during exercise to coordinate your deep core. So if I was doing, let's say, and on my hands and knees, doing hands and knees breathing with opposite arm, opposite leg, so a bird dog. So I'm inhaling, letting everything expand and relax. On my exhale, I'm engaging my deep core. Exhale as I lift my leg, okay, and arm. So that's that coordination piece. Inhale, relax, exhale, contract. So give that a try. You can use that breath and coordination of the deep core during any exercise, and it becomes a core exercise when you're doing that because you're using your breath synced with the movement that you're doing, and you're working and strengthening your core and your pelvic floor naturally.